I'm not one to binge in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I've been working on that second season of Better Call Saul for a year now. But one show grabbed my attention like a protester to a famous art piece and made me finish the entire season in 2 days. So as the wise mentor I am to all my viewers, I'm obligated to share with you the best show on Netflix. The Gentleman follows the story of a British aristocrat soldier named Edward Horniman. Horniman? As he becomes the new Duke of the Horniman family due to his father's untimely death. Now, Edward wasn't supposed to become the new Duke. His older brother Freddy was in line to take the title. But because of specific instructions and their father's will, there was no way in hell Freddy's dumbass was getting in charge. Freddy threw a hissy fit about this, which is a common theme throughout the series. But the reason why Freddy was pissing his little dungarees is because he invested a crime family's money to a guy named Sticky Pete and thought it would be a good idea, leaving him in a sticky situation.
We're coming for you, Freddy.
With an £8 million debt. Wait, what is a pound? Oh, I know what it is. Damn, you could probably buy Boardwalk with that. In an effort to change Freddy's messy diaper, Edward has a meeting with his family's accountant to try and gather the funds. This guy is one of my favorite characters in the series, and don't get me wrong, he has like 5 minutes of screen time. But he just makes me so happy. His face is constantly stuck in the expression when you take a shit and a little bit of the water splashes back up at you. I mean, you could tell this guy anything and it would surprise him. It turns out that Eddie's sweet, innocent, dead-ass father was not actually so sweet and innocent, because the majority of the money coming into the Horniman Foundation was made from growing the devil's lettuce on their property. This is where Edward met Susie Glass, the professional crime lady in charge of the whole operation. Hello, beautiful. Guy Ritchie was the director of The Gentleman, and his style definitely shows. I saw a lot of parallels to Snatch in this show, like the comedy
Adolf Hitler's nutball.
rumor-style storytelling, this guy, and me not being able to understand half of what they're saying the whole time. But even as someone who can't fully grasp the weird British cursive talking, there's a character in the show named Blanket, so that makes up for it. I do know that this show is based off a movie made by Guy Ritchie, also called The Gentleman. He got really creative with the titles. But as the great movie critic I am, I haven't seen that one. One thing The Gentleman does incredibly is building likable characters. I liked every single main character throughout the series, except for Freddy. Each character had a distinct personality and stood out for every minute they had on screen.
You's like a duke, innit?
Edward's growth as he begins to enjoy the crime lifestyle he was forced into felt seamless and natural.
We're not criminals, Freddy.
Oh, my bad. And Susie Glass was a certified bad bitch, but she also wasn't perfect, and showed emotion and vulnerability. Something that some other unnamed movies should take notes from. And admittedly, Freddy was also a very well-written character. So well written that I wanted to beat his ass every time I saw him. This guy just kept pulling some bullshit, then doing some out of character moral act that makes you start to like him, then pulling some dumb shit again. He's like that little jackass from If You Ever Give a Mouse a Cookie. The mouse. Edward just kept helping Freddy out and giving him cookies. And you already know that little weasel asked for milk. Freddy better hope to God he doesn't become a real person, or I might have to give him the Tweedle patented 1-inch punch of doom. Freddy was like that episode of SpongeBob where his cousin Stanley comes over and just absolutely sucks, messing everything up and leaving SpongeBob to deal with it. But even though I want him to fall down a bottomless pit with a bottom at the end, the scenes with Freddy are pretty entertaining. It's like watching a Saw movie. I don't want to see some guy getting his limbs twisted off, but if it's on, I'm not gonna look away. I mean, this scene right after blowing some guy's head off isn't something you're gonna find anywhere else. There was a lot of goofiness to some of the characters in this show. I mean, Jimmy is one of the strangest looking human beings I think I've ever seen. Like if a caricature climbed out of the picture and decided to be a real boy. But even small scenes just made me burst out laughing. Like this guy running. I don't know who he is or what he's on, but he was running like his balls itched and he was trying to scratch him without making it too obvious. I can't really explain just how crazy this show gets. It was really funny, had some great action, as well as genuine emotional scenes with tension. There's truly no way I could explain what happens better than the show, so you'll just have to see for yourself. But if you need any more reason to give this show a try at this point, Giancarlo Esposito plays a character named Stanley Johnston,
With a T.
a sophisticated and strategic crime boss who runs a gigantic distribution chain of methamphetamines. sounds a little familiar. Now, there is one warning I need to give before I send you blindly into this series. I saw the little Netflix pop-up saying there would be nudity. And I won't lie, the Tweedler was hoping it would be female. Overall, for a show, I'm gonna give The Gentleman a Tweedle patented score of 9 out of 10. This series is a very fun watch and left me hooked after finishing the first episode. The unique storytelling of Guy Ritchie worked incredibly well in this format, and apart from the scene with the old man going free willy, I can't think of anything negative. So with this in mind, I think it's safe to say that I'm very excited for Guy Ritchie's next movie, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, coming out soon. In conclusion, if you haven't seen The Gentleman, watch it. And if you have, subscribe to the channel so I can get this man some eye drops.
I don't need it.